Good morning, YouTube. I have something pretty cool to review for you guys today. Not really a super professional review since I'm not very good at video editing, so I won't be running around wearing it or anything like that. Just kind of a tabletop review of the DEVTAC Ronin Ballistic helmet. I'll tell you, I've wanted one of these things for a long time. It's a work of art, in my opinion. It looks amazing. A little spendy. I think the price on these things, bare bones with no accessories, is around $2,200. With a few accessories, like the top ventilation system added, and the full mandible, you're closer to about $2,900, $3,000. If you order it directly from Wesley at DEVTAC in Japan, which is what I recommend doing. If you buy from one of the distributors, the sizing might not be correct, and you would hate to have to wait that long to order something and spend that type of money on it, and then it gets to you and it doesn't fit appropriately. Or if you order from Wesley, he takes your measurements, your height, he looks at actual pictures of you, and he makes a guesstimate, an informed guesstimate on the appropriate size, and he was spot on with me. I think he has 4 sizes from his cast, and based on those measurements, he picks the best size and sends it out to you. And when it comes to you, you've got several bags of foam inserts that you can switch out on the inside here to get a more appropriate fit. But mine fit pretty perfect right out of the box. It was pretty great. So, weighs about 4.8 pounds. It comes with a Naruto's shroud for your NVGs. Let me figure this thing out. I haven't played with it that much. So I got a Wilcox mount on here. And when you mount the 14s, as you can see, it mates up perfectly. And it's really well balanced when you kick it back on your head when you're not using it. The weight of the helmet really balances these nods much better than if you're wearing a Mitch or a bump helmet. It's far less noticeable. The weight of the helmet provides a stability to it that you don't normally have with a skull crusher or your, like I said, Mitch bump type helmet. It is advertised as 3A ballistic protection. I think there's some agencies that have did an overall analysis of it and categorized it as a 2 because of certain things, you know, in between the Kevlar and things like that. But this, there's lots of videos on YouTube of it being torture tested, and people shoot this thing with all kind of weapons up to 50 cal, and you don't get much back face deformation. But then there's some types of 9mm ammo that have penetrated it. I forget the name of the company, but they make a TCI type ammo that will penetrate it. But it handles 44 mag on paper very well, without any back face deformation. Back face deformation is the amount of deformity that the Kevlar gets on the inside after it's hit. So the amount of damage that it will cause the wearer Of course, if you got shot in the head with a 44, it'd probably rattle your brain, but you'd still be alive after that. I view it as a breacher type helmet, a room clearing helmet. It has about 160-degree field of view to the left and right, which is very, very good. When you look at something like this, you compare it to like the other ballistic helmets, like the 500 or ballistic face mask, like the $500 ballistic face mask. It gives you like a tunnel vision. But the great thing about this is it fits your face so well, and the lenses are closer to your eyes, and it gives you a much better field of view than you would think while wearing it. And that brings another question. You know, with the lenses that close to your eyes, most people would, a lot of comments that you get from people that don't know is, man, as soon as you start breathing heavy, that thing's gonna fog up and you're not gonna see anything. But it has micro fans built inside of the helmet. And they blow on the inside of the lens, against the lens, to prevent any fogging. I put it on and wore it for about an hour to see if it would fog. I didn't do any type of heavy exercise. I just kind of wore it around, and it worked. It worked great, even on a fairly warm Texas day. Even though it's December, it's still Texas and it gets kind of warm. And it worked great. And I also opted for the option of top ventilation. So these are 2 more micro fans that pull air in, and the other fan moves air out, so it circulates air around the head. And when you turn it on, you feel the difference. There's no doubt. It works pretty good. And so these fans work off 3 batteries. The eyepieces work off 2 AAA batteries that install right over the eyes. And then it's hidden by the foam insert. And so you don't feel them. And you see the 2 micro fans up top that circulate air in and out. And those are operated off of a battery that when you remove this piece, it's a 9-volt battery. I would have liked for one battery to run, one type of battery to run everything, like, you know, AAAs throughout. That would be convenient. But for what you get out of it, it's a small price to pay to carry a few 9-volts with you. It says the battery life on them, because of these micro fans, can run about 50 hours. It's pretty great, but batteries are not expensive. And if you were going into a mission, something, an operation, something was happening where you needed to use it and had a little time to prepare, I'm always a fan of throwing new batteries in before any operation. I do it with nods, I do it with red dots, anything that I have that requires batteries. If I have time to prepare, I'll always replace the batteries before going into something. But this thing runs off 3 batteries. So, like I said, 4.8 pounds. It doesn't feel very heavy for the amount of protection it gives you. And there's pros and cons to this compared to other options on the market, like the ballistic face mask, which only gives you partial protection, the front face only, and you get extreme tunnel vision with that. Doesn't have any type of nods mounting capabilities or anything. And then you have you know, the revision helmets or the Wendy's ballistic helmets that offer partial cover, and then you have the military helmets with the mandible and the goggles that give you a much better field of view, but it's very bulky and nowhere near as sexy looking as this. This thing also comes with Picatinny rails on both sides. I'm eventually going to get me a little Surefire IR light with a red light combo. I just don't have one yet, so I threw this stream light on there. So while this options you have to pick from is the ventilation system is one. He also has comm setups. He has respirator setups. He even offers custom painting. If you wanted a Punisher skull or something on the front, he'd actually paint those and send it back, or before he mails it to you. And I believe that I asked what those cost, and I think it's very. I think he quoted me $90, $100 to paint the front of it. He also can do carbon fiber. He can do full OD green, FDE, lots of options, customizable. He's very responsive. Wesley is great to work with. He sent me pictures of it through the process, the casting process. He runs live videos, and he was actually doing finishing touches on this thing in front of me while I was watching it. It's great customer service. Can't be beat. Wesley is awesome. But you can also, if you order the Mandible and the ventilation system, he sends you the options of transitioning it back to a helmet without the ventilation system. So you get another Naruto shroud with this Kevlar piece. He doesn't skimp on you. You know, I got 2 shrouds, and if you get into night vision, I'll do another video on night vision a little later, but if you get into night vision, you'll realize quickly that that's a very expensive venture. Everything costs a lot of money. This Wilcox flex mount was $500. I'm used to beating up these little Naruto's mounts that I had in the Army, not knowing that even those things are a couple $100 a piece. While this Wilcox is very nice and fully adjustable, $500 is a ripoff. It's a lot of money for just pieces. And then the J-arm, the Wilcox J-arm was another $185. $200 after taxes and everything else. It's robbery. I'll get off my soapbox. But these things, these shrouds and stuff, are not cheap. And he sent me an extra one. And you can also transition. You could take the full mandible off, unscrew it, and then go back to the standard helmet. And the benefits of this full mandible is you get full protection. There's no gaps, there's no nothing. So if you're in a breaching situation, you're going through a doorway, you know, that fatal funnel, and you want full protection, this full mandible is what you get. The problem with that is when you pull your weapon up to your shoulder, cheek weld is not as advantageous as you would want it to be. Now, if you're running night vision and you have an IR laser, you don't need that. You know what I'm saying? You just pull it up to your shoulder and you rely on your zero of your IR laser and your nods to do all the work you need to do. But with this, you have the option of installing these, and they're held in by magnets, very strong magnets, neodymium, or however you pronounce it. And these things just pop off. So you can just pop off, if you're right-handed, one side, and then you can pull your weapon up to your shoulder and get perfect sight picture. Wesley put a lot of thought into these things. And then you have, you know, the Picatinny mounts. So it gives you the full system to go from full mandible back to a normal helmet if you're going to utilize it during the daytime and need cheek weld, you know, full cheek weld to shoot down your optic, aim down your optic or iron sights. But it is a amazing helmet. It offers 80% protection is what's advertised. Full back of the helmet. And another thing I want to cover is you don't just put this helmet together and just slide it over the top of your head. You would think that that's the case, but it's not. And I tell you, I'll be totally honest with you, it was tricky to get this thing on the first time. It seems easy, and if you do it on the table, it's one thing. You see that there's this little nipple here, and this hole in the top of the helmet. It just clicks in, and it just pops together with these holes you see, with these nipples on the inside, and that's it. It's together. It's not coming apart. And then when you take it off, all you do is you depress this and release that nipple from the hole on the inside. But when you put it on your head, and y'all get to watch me struggle with this, I've done it a few times, so it's a lot easier now. Once you get it, it's easy, like riding a bike. Let's see how dumb I'll make myself look. But you want to ensure that this is tight, fits against your head, and this is bungee, because holding against your chin isn't important. This is what's important in the way the helmet fits on your head. It becomes, this is not needed. So you put your hand on the nipple. And there we go. So when it's really new and tight, it takes a little bit to get it the first time, first few times, but after that it goes quickly. And when you want it off, it comes right off. He also sends you an option that if you just want to wear the face mask portion of the helmet without the back piece, he also sends you this, and this straps inside the helmet, and it just fits on the back of your head, and you could just wear the front portion if that's what you'd like, to have more of a ballistic mask option. But if you watch torture testing on these things, they are pretty amazing. Even the lenses can handle birdshot fragmentation. So it's, I mean, it's an option. You can discount it if you like. You can sharpshoot it all you want. There's pros and cons to everything. But in the end, it's having the right tool for the right job. And if you have the tools at your disposal, if you're a mechanic, if you've ever worked on anything, you'll learn that having the right tool at the right time makes life much easier. And in my opinion, this is a tool worth having. And plus, it looks super sexy. So I appreciate you watching. I appreciate Wesley at DEVTAC. He makes an amazing product. I've wanted one of these for years, and finally pulled the trigger on one. And I'm grateful I did. Have a good day, YouTube.